the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is Deliver Live Free Sports Picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Checklist. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us, Millz Young with us. It's Big Al McMordie, Tony Brown, and Jay Briggs. Here's how the lineup for this evening. McMordie, Brown, Young, Briggs, and I will close this one out. All right, on the board tonight, NBA, lots of college hoops as well. NHL on the board. Cowboys and Seattle tonight in Thursday Night Football. So let's get this one underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Big Al McMordie. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Some Saturday college football from Big Al here tonight on the drive-thru. So let's get him in right now. I'm ready to roll here with Big Al. Big Al, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. All right, here we go. Big Ten title game in the Dome in Indy. Iowa and Michigan going head-to-head here. We see Michigan favored here, 22, total 35.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this number of 35, that's pretty big for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They haven't seen a number this high since their October 7th game versus Purdue when the line was 38.5. And they went under that game. They've gone now under in 7 straight. But of course, Tony, there's two sides to every coin, and the Michigan Wolverines have gone over the total in 6 of their last 8. So something has to give on this Saturday, and I think what's going to give is the over. I like the under here. If you just take a look, regardless of whether or not Iowa's playing in the game, if you just take a look at college football games with over-under lines of 39 or less, they tend to go under the total. They're 67 and 43 the last 110. And then 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under as well. I just, I find it hard to see a lot of scoring in this game. I like the under 35.
All right, Big Al goes Michigan, Iowa under total here of 35. Big Al, there was a lot of talk before the season started here with the clock running on first down. I don't know if you checked the numbers, if that impacted over-under performance at all.
Well, I remember, we talked about it, and my attitude back in August was, the lines will adjust, and it won't make a hill of beans of difference as far as the over-unders go. But I can tell you what you're asking what the season to date numbers are?
Yeah, season to date numbers, yeah.
Yeah, I can quickly check that, see if it's around 50, it really is.
Let's see what
Yeah, so the overs are 756 and the unders are 704.
Okay.
I think that's double counting because it counts both sides. So it would be 378 and 352.
So still a little more on the oversight there. Okay.
A little more on the oversight.
A little bit more on the side. All right. Okay. So Big Al. Yeah. So there wasn't that.
You can't make money either way because you're going to live. If you took all the overs, you're still losing against the juice. So. Right.
Yeah. Neither way, they'd have. Yeah. Did profit either way if you just played them blindly there. But so we go here with the. But unless you played Iowa under, you did pretty good.
Go Iowa under, you're 10-2.
Yeah, you did. It was great numbers there. All right, here we go with Big Al, Michigan, Iowa. Maybe the bookmakers liked it. They kind of liked it. Well, I wonder what it was the year before. I just remember a lot of these Pac-12 games just being crazily over, right? But USC was one of those over teams this year too.
Yeah. Well, I can see what the over-unders were. Is that you're asking us what the over-unders were the year before?
Yeah.
In college football, yeah. Let's just see what it was.
See the impact it made.
I mean, it would make much of an impact if it was just, roughly 50-50. The year before was the unders had 5 more games, so it was 379. I'm sorry, 384 and 379.
There you go.
So, I mean, it's usually around 50-50 every year.
Books make it, but yeah, 50 books make out with their juice. There you go, either way.
The main thing is just the numbers are good, right? I mean, roughly half the games go over and half the games go over. The numbers are pretty good.
Absolutely. So Big Al here at Michigan, Iowa under 35. This one here will have a start time here of 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we're heading to a big weekend here. Big Al, really good numbers here in college basketball for this year. You can verify those numbers by going over to Big Al's handicapper page. By those numbers are there. All right, Big Al, we got college hoops, NBA, some hockey as well, NFL tonight. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I've got 2 plays in college basketball. One play in the NBA for the season. I think it's 69 and 49, if I can remember. I lose track of the numbers, but it's about 20 games over 500 in basketball this season, winning in both college and pro. Then I've got 2 football plays posted already, Tony. I've got one for Friday football, one for Saturday football. And the Saturday game is my college football championship game of the year. It's a big 5-star play.
There you go, guys. Get on board with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from Big Al here. Over all sports combined, showing great profit last 3 days, last 7 days, actually yesterday as well. So get on board with Big Al's packages. Long-term pass is the way to go. The way Big Al is running, 1 month all sports pass get you right into start of bowl season. All the NFL, college hoops, NBA, NHL, all these sports overlapping. Your best value right now is getting on board with the long-term passes. Of course, Big Al, also your all-access plan showing great results as well.
Yeah, we were up 99,000 when folks bet 1,000 to 10,000 a game in October. And if folks want to join, just text Big Al to 775-636-7676. It's for guys who can get down, as I mentioned. You can bet $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, and you're interested, just text Big Al to 775-636-7676. You get all the games rated from 10 through 1. You get additional plays that are not on the premium side. And then you can ask me about any game on the card at any time of day or night, and I'll get you my opinion on any game you want.
There you go, guys. Get on board with Big Al. Get the all access. We got the bankroll. That's the way to roll. All right, Big Al, as always, great having your show. Have a great evening. I can see the chat room. They're going to be on Iowa plus the points. You know why?
Because Walter's barking.
Yeah, that's right. It's a great angle there. It's been. These guys are keeping tabs on it.
Rod Zawacki. I know Rod began keeping numbers. Okay, Walter, I'll get down. He's telling me he wants some money on Iowa, so I guess I got to put money.
You got to put some dog biscuits on Iowa for him. There you go.
I'll do that kicking and screaming as a Michigan fan. But
oh, no. There you go. I think I have a great night. You got Big Al McMordie here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, let's go out to Las Vegas, Nevada, and welcome Tony Brown to the show. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Print. We're bringing Tony Brown right now. We're ready to roll. Going to get some NBA tonight from Tony Brown. As you know, he's having a great NFL season, as well as, he does great work in the NHL as well. So let's get him in right now. I think we're all set to roll here. Let me see here. Boy, there's so many cappers we have on this show. I got to get my board straight up here. Here we go. Tony Brown. Oh, no, that's Big Al McMordie. Tony Brown. Here you go. Tony Brown, what's happening? You're on mute there, Tony Brown. Tony Brown's getting to get his unmuted here. Get his sound here. No, he's still on mute there. There he goes. We'll let him sign in here. We're going to get a pick here from Tony Brown tonight on this Pacers Heat game as he tries to get his signals together here. Let's see if he can. Maybe we lost him for a second here. Let me see if he's back again. No, still no sound coming through for Tony Brown. Tony Brown going once. Let's see here. Maybe we'll get back to Tony. No, still nothing. No sound from Tony Brown. There we go.
I hear you guys.
I can hear you now. Yeah, okay. You just came back in right now. I don't know what you did, but you just came in. All right, here we go. Tony Brown is coming in here with some NBA action for tonight. Want to make sure it's the right game. It is Pacers and the Heat going head-to-head tonight in the NBA. We see the Heat favorite 3.5, total 238.5.
Yeah, the powers that be didn't want you guys to get this free money, but here we are. I'm going with a total, and I'm going with the over. So, I must really like this one, as I rarely do totals, and when I do, I rarely do overs. But this one seems kind of automatic. The Pacers this year have been an over machine. They've cashed 14 overs in 16 games. The only 2 times they didn't cash the over, they were at home. They cashed the over every single time on the road this season. And basically, they have good players. They even have a great player. Tyler Halliburton's having a breakout season. He's for sure going to be one of the top 5 All-Stars this year. He's putting up double-doubles, even triple-doubles left and right. And then they play defense like it's optional. I've seen them have a 150-something point game with Atlanta. It was like a 300 total altogether. They literally just try to outscore everybody, and they're going to put up 100-something plus points alone, almost cashing this over by themselves. We just need the Heat to get to triple digits, which they've gotten to triple digits in every game that they won. They're favorites in this game. I expect them to win, so I expect triple digits, and I expect Indiana to do their thing.
All right, we got Tony Brown here on the Pacers Heat to go over 238. We know that the Pacers play at that fast pace. And also, as Tony Brown mentioned, the Heat can pick it up a little bit too as well. If you're going to run, they'll run with you. Just updates here on some of this injury news here. We know Hero's been out for a while. Butler is still on the questionable side here, Tony Brown. Looks like the starting lineup will be intact here for Indiana. The word coming out here is Butler iffy with an ankle.
And the thing about that is it works either way. If Butler plays, that's great because that's 20, 30 more points for the Heat. And if he doesn't, he's one of their best defensive players. That's 20 more 30 points for Indiana with him, the lack of defense. So with Butler, we get the scoring to add on. And without Butler, Indiana pours it on even more.
Yep, you got Lowry, a point guard, is going to have his hands full trying to go cover these young kids in Halliburton and Hield tonight.
For sure. We seen that with the Sacramento game just a couple other days ago. Golden State, comfortable, up by 20 and all that. And then just, boom, ran out of the building and lost by 1, man. The youth is trying to top the experience right now.
Yep, there we go. Tony Brown here, Pacers Heat over 238, 238 and a half. You're a line shop and get the best numbers, obviously, in this game tonight here at 7:30 Eastern Time. All right, Tony Brown, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. Of course, we got NBA on the board, NHL as well. Nice college basketball card as well. Tony Brown, and of course the NFL game tonight, Cowboys and the Seahawks. Look at the numbers from Tony Brown. 2,100 units of profit in the NFL this year, amongst the lead leaders right now at Pick Dog Stream in the NFL. Also showing great profit in the NHL, nearly 800 units of profit. As always, Tony Brown's been rock solid in the NHL, NFL. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, we got a big board tonight. All 3 majors are in play, plus we got some college basketball. So I just took the best play out of each league. I got my best play in the NFL, I got my best play in the NHL, best play in the NBA, and my best play in college hoops. You can get them individually, or you can get the pass and break your bookie 4 times over.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Tony Brown over at Pick Dog Stream. Great results to see from Tony Brown. 2,100 units of profit. A good time to get on board with him with the long-term passes. You get your best value there. Of course, Tony Brown, you're there situated in Las Vegas. That VIP 1-year all pass is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure, because we play everything. Like, we even did that F1 stuff. It wasn't much of a stretch. We took that dude Vaspucin, but it still got 3-1. He won like 19 of the 20 races of this year coming into that point. So, it wasn't much of a stretch, but 3-1 is 3-1, and we still got that one. And boxing all the time. I'm always at the boxing matches. You get a lot more, by me living here, I'm into a lot more sports, and I get to look at it from the ground up, get the lines the fastest and things of that nature. So if you're really serious about making money, that VIP all sports year is the way to go. You don't pay for individual picks. You don't pay for individual sports. Every play I release for the full 365 days, one low price.
That's right, guys. 1-year all sports pass. Great value there. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. All right, Tony Brown, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. So what's up here on NFL, looking at this Raiders team moving forward?
Man, I went to the game Sunday, and I got caught up in the trap. We were up 14-0 after about 2 plays, dominating the first quarter, and I started talking some smack to the KC fans, and yep, at the end, you know how that worked out. End of the day, as a fan, it's kind of frustrating and things of that nature, but just looking at it seriously, Raiders are in good shape. We're rebuilding, and with a rebuilding team, it's going to come with a couple lumps and losses. But our rookie quarterback is looking really, really good. He was thrown right into the fire, tough situation, and he's held up pretty good. So I think we're going to be looking good forward, going forward towards that. And then the coach, he's a player's coach. The guys have all rallied behind him. Mark Davis likes him, so we're good at the front office. It's just the little things like that. We got to get Max Crosby shored up. Got to know what we're going to do with Josh Jacobs, just, But as far as a fan, in the next 5-6 years, I think the Raiders are going to definitely be a contender. Do I think we're going to take advantage of the Super Bowl being in our house right now? Nah, not so much.
Looking forward to the future there. And, of course, quarterback situation a little more stable now. O'Connell, we know, was accurate in college, and that goes. And, of course, it looks like he's the real deal there.
Right, he replaced high-profile Jimmy G, so a lot of fans are like, and then, rough start or whatever. But to be honest, he's looked great. He hasn't been the problem. You can put it that way. When you look at the Raiders games and our wins and losses, you can't be like, we need another quarterback and stuff like that. So just growing pains like any other team that's growing. Carolina catching a lot of flick, Bryce Young. But if you look at Peyton Manning, all of the greats, all of the guys who wear green jackets now, the rookie year wasn't so good. So just give people some time and let everything work out.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Let it all work out there. All right, Tony Brown, enjoy the time tonight. Have a great night, and we'll catch up with you next week. Or maybe we'll catch you on one of Jay's shows, right? There's some negotiation behind the scenes between you and Jay, right?
Yeah, he has a football show. And, I'm pretty much doing good, leading the league in football right now with the most units up. So I think he's going to invite me on there if I keep my fingers crossed and I'm lucky enough. And he makes the time. Jay's a busy man nowadays. And if he got some time for me, I should be on Jay's show.
Yeah, listen for Tony Brown. It's Jay's show on the NFL Rundown. And they're trying to set a show up for tomorrow. We'll see how it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. So if you see Tony Brown there on those live shows afternoon, better time than these early morning shows because Tony Brown's in Vegas. And Vegas, and then you start these shows 6:30 a.m. Vegas time. It's tough. It's a tough get up.
Yeah, it's tough. That's why I haven't been on a lot of the morning shows, and I haven't been on everything that I could because 7 o'clock is it's really tough over here. And I work hard for you guys to get the best plays on the board. That's why we have the most units right now in the NFL. So sometimes at 7, I'm still working on them. But Jay's show is a little bit later in the day. We might be able to get on that. And if I get enough warning and get enough good beauty sleep, I might catch me on one of those morning shows. You never know.
There you go. So it's next to Sunday, right? We're headed into the weekend with those great numbers in the NFL. Check them out.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tony Brown. Have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, man. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Tony Brown here on the drive, too. Let's continue on. Guys, you ever miss a pick? We recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Continue next here on the drive-thru. Millz Young up next. Catch him over at Pick Dodge Print. We'll bring Millz in right now. He'll always throw an opinion there about the NFL. Maybe some player props we'll see. Bring him in right now. Millz, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony? How's all the Pick Dogs doing today?
Things going well. Big chat room here, ready to roll here. Looking forward to the action for tonight. We go here at NBA here with the Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are on the road to face the Spurs. Hawks road favorite 7.5, total 248.5.
Yeah, man. When you see the Hawks laying minus 300 on there, man, you definitely can't be looking at them and thinking you're going to get your money in that way. Nope, not at all. Even though they got a new coach over there, it still seems like, the thing ain't clicking. They got DeJounte Murray over here averaging 19 points. Trae Young doesn't look like the same Trae Young that he was going for those 35, 50-point games no more. So I think a little bit of the offense still isn't flowing like it's used to. So there's no way I'm going to be laying those points on there. The San Antonio Spurs on the other side, they're dealing with a little bit of questionable injuries. They got Wembanyama saying that he might be questionable for the game. Cool. That goes for my play. I'm going to be looking at the over in this spot. When it comes down to it, the Hawks played the Spurs already. The last 3 games that they played each other, the over hit in all 3 of those games. If Wembanyama is not out there, that's cool. That's going to mean that he's not going to be out there to block those shots. The points that he's giving them, they're not really going to miss that much. He's only averaging 19 points for the Spurs right now. The Atlanta Hawks, they got Trae Young putting up 26. Besides that, you got DeAndre Hunter dropping about 16 points per game. I'm just looking at the over in this one. Both these teams, too, in the last 5 games, hit the over 3 of the last 2 games that they played, their last opponents as well. In the Thursday night spot, I think the over would be my best bet on this one.
All right, there we go. With Millz says take Hawks Spurs over 248. These teams are not among some of the worst defensive teams you'll see in the league. Matter of fact, you look at the Atlanta over the past 5 games, they're giving up 51% shooting, nearly 123 points per 100 possessions. So we know the Spurs give up a lot of points. A little bit more offense from them at home, though, for the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, you got the hometown backing you and stuff. This is one thing that I look at, though. When you got, I don't know how to say this in the right way, but when you got great players, those games are 9 times out of 10 going to go under, because they know how to play the right way. When you got a lot of young players out here that's just playing the game, hints of the Hawks, hints of the Spurs, that's when the over usually hits, because they're just running up at a fast pace and, they don't have that veteran experience to just call a timeout for somebody to call them over there like Udonis Haslem or Draymond Green and say, hey, man, this is what we need to do. Just, hey, I'm going to switch my opponent. You stick him. I'm going to cover this. Or, when they inbound the ball, we double team here. A lot of that don't go on no more in the game. So when you got 2 young teams like this and the only way that they know how to play is offense, the over has to be one of the best ways.
Yep, there we go from Millz here. Hawks Spurs over 248.5. Anything you see here in the NFL tonight with the player props?
Yeah, I got the NFL prop shop out. A few props that I like in this one. One's juiced. It's going to be Tony Pollard anytime touchdown. That's one that I like to roll out. My next one would be DK Metcalf over 4.5 receptions. That's the only way they're going to be able to compete with the Dallas Cowboys out there. Geno Smith, he's been showing that he's a consistent quarterback of hitting over 21 completions per game. He has about 3 receivers to spread the ball to. Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's been actually one of Geno Smith's favorite targets out there. He's been looking for him time after time. So over 4.5 receptions for DK Metcalf. I like that one. And then my anytime touchdown prop would be Tony Pollard.
It's a unique situation here tonight. We see this a lot now lately. The teams that play Thanksgiving, they somehow, some way try to match them up on the Thursday, and that's what we have. Each team will be on full rest in this game.
I mean, that benefits for us, to see a good game. Usually these last Thursday primetime games, we haven't got any good ones except for the Bengals game and the Ravens game. I mean, now, if you look at it, I mean, 2 of these teams are, actually decent and good. Decent and good, I'm going to say the Seahawks, because they're already achieved more than what they were supposed to with their record and with the quarterback play. And with the running game. I mean, the running game, they lost Kenneth Walker, but the running back, Charbonnet's been picking it up on the receptions, on the receiving part. But on the rushing, man, he can't get over 65 yards per game. And it seems like Kenneth Walker hasn't been doing that either. So it seems like the Seahawks been getting by playing, decent defense and, just the opponents in the division not doing as well. So I think we actually got a good game tonight, man. And if you guys are actually laying 9 points with the Cowboys, I'm going to leave that up to Jay for y'all. Never mind.
Yeah, I'll let the Jay that. One thing I'll note here is that go back and look at the Cowboys' victories and look at the records for these teams they're beating. And interesting to know, the Seahawks are a winning team. Now go back and look at the Cowboys' performance against winning teams this year.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to keep in mind. What do you think about the coaching, though, Tony? What do you think? Who has the little bit of coaching advantage?
You know what,
in this
man?
game?
If you're giving me almost double digits with Pete Carroll, it's almost an automatic take the point. it's just almost in that situation. These are the type of games I think that challenge somebody that's almost 70 years old like Pete Carroll. When he says, "Oh, we're underdog by 10," all right, I like that. I mean, we saw him, right? I think he likes
those
that role.
coaches. They get up there. They get up for those games. Exactly. Like, oh, we're supposed to lose by 10.
Prove them wrong.
Cool. We'll
It's what I call a prove it wrong game. Prove them wrong game.
Yeah, and it's the perfect spot. I thought the Dallas Cowboys was gonna get a little bit of surprise when they played the Commanders, and I thought the Commanders was gonna be the one to kind of rain on their parade a little bit with Bellamy out there, the new offensive coordinator. But the Cowboys are actually looking pretty good as well. And Dak Prescott is not playing as bad as people want to think. I actually think he's second in MVP voting right now. The favorite is Jalen Hurts at plus 180, and Dak Prescott is second at plus 400. So.
Yeah, I thought that 47.5 might be a bit too much here. We'll see how that rolls. I think Seattle's going to probably want to play that ball control game. We'll see how it rolls strategy-wise. Of course, the Seattle has to be on third and manageable. That's the key here. How they do on first down, get to third and manageable, and you could probably keep that game under. We'll see how that rolls. But we got Millz here. Hawks and Spurs going over 248.5 tonight, 8 Eastern time. We're at Millz. Let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Action tonight here on the board here from the NBA. We've got also coming up here NFL. We got some college hoops as well. Millz showing great results in college football. Remember college football, we got a couple big games coming up on Friday. All right, so it's coming. It's coming up against big matchups coming up. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, man, I got 2 bets up on the board for you guys tonight to go ahead and get your feet wet. One in the NFL. And now I got my MMA bet up there. I already put that up there because I like the odds on it. I think the odds might change in the next couple of 24 hours. UFC's packed, stacked and loaded. UFC Austin's going on Saturday. Besides that, yeah, man, college football already got 2 plays that already got written up. Just not in package form yet. But I love the games, man. You already know out here in Cali, we got a good one coming up. So definitely, man, this is definitely the time. The NBA slots today, wasn't really feeling them that much. I do think there is some money to get out there as well. But today's the best day to get your 3-day pass. You get everything that I got going for today all the way to the weekend. That's going to include all my UFC bets, my NFL picks, college basketball, and NBA.
That's right, guys. Got aboard with Millz Young over at pick.com. Great results you can see here from college football from Millz. Also showing profit on the college basketball side for this year. So get on board. Now, we know it's Thursday. So what you want to do is you want to get that 3-day pass from Millz. Get all his college football, NFL, basketball action. Of course, don't forget the UFC winners only. He's got a package up there right now. UFC Austin, 12 fights on the card. Don't miss his UFC winners card right now. So get on board with that 3-day pass. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. You can also add multi-cappers with the multi-capper promotion, making it even a greater value there from Millz Young. Get signed up. All right, Millz, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. Of course, so we can catch your prop videos up on the YouTube channel on Pick Dogs. Also, too, that UFC rundown.
Yeah, man, daily we put out the UFC, the Pick Dogs prop shop. I usually go over NBA props. I go over the NFL props and NHL. Today I covered both sports on NBA and NFL. So you guys can check that out all the time in the morning, and give me some recommendations what you guys got. I go over my props and I reference them with the betting tools. The betting tools is the sports chat place. It's A1. They have everything lined up there for you guys. If you guys don't like what I'm giving you, go on there and build your own prop and let me know in your comments below. You guys should really check out the betting tools. I'm not really just plugging it. I really do recommend it for the people out there. And then besides that, hey, the UFC rundown show, I did it yesterday. It has some great fights on there. Some of them I was back and forth on. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think a lot of people's going to lose money this week on UFC. So look for the dogs to shine this week, man. So, yeah, man, be careful out there. But, yeah, I went over all the fights on the card. Gave you guys a bulletproof parlay that I think that should hit as well. So appreciate everybody out there for watching us.
And have any local fighters from Austin in the card? Because I know Austin's a developing city out there in Texas.
So in that actual taking place, we have local fighters from my city, from my area out here. Yeah, in IE, 2 local fighters, Bobby Green and Jalen Turner, are both from San Bernardino out here. Bobby Green was supposed to be fighting a guy named Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker got hurt. They called Jalen Turner on 9 days' notice. He said no once. He said no twice. Couldn't say no 3 times. Had to take the fight. So these guys didn't really want to fight because they respect each other and they're from the same city, from the same area. But it's going to be a war. I'm talking about a war. Bobby Green versus Jalen Turner. Bobby Green is one of those fighters to where he pulls upsets out of nowhere. And I think he might just be able to pull another one at a good plus money price tag.
That's right. You know, Millz, I always say IE is very underrated recruiting ground out here. We saw CJ Stroud, DJ Gulai. A lot of underrated prospects come out of the IE. People think about Southern California.
Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams, Tyler Algier for my Falcons. There's a lot of talent out here in the IE. And I didn't get put onto it until I started to move out here to the Orange County area. I was just sold on Long Beach and LA. Like, hey, we got the best. But out here, yeah.
Oh yeah, out here, man, you get a lot of good, talented players here. The IE was developing the part of the county here back in the 80s, 90s, and zeros, and continuing. They're building houses out in IE, and a lot of NFL quarterback prospects. A lot of prospects come out of the IE, and just a few of them right now in the transfer portal. We'll see how it rolls out here with a lot of news making right now in college football with players exiting their program. So. All right, Millz, have yourself a great weekend. Guys, get that 3-day pass. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
I appreciate everybody out there. Everybody smash that like button for us one time. Put your best plays in the chat. And, hey, every single day we're doing the same thing over here. Give props to Tony T, man. Professional at all times on the drive-thru.
That's right, guys. Check it out. You got it. Appreciate that. Have a great night. Millz Young here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, let's go ahead and welcome in Jay Briggs. We'll catch him over at Pick Dog Spring. We'll bring Jay in here in just a second. I think we'll be set to roll here with Jay. We've got some NBA coverage coming up from Jay. I'm sure I'll speak a little bit about that Cowboy game tonight. We'll get him here in just a second. See where he's at here. Let's find him on the key here. Jay. Let's get him in here right now. We roll with Jay. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
What's going on? All right, Jay, here we go tonight. We're going to NBA tonight. This is the NBA play here between the Clippers and Warriors going head to head here. We see the Warriors 2.5. We see the total sits 227.5.
Yeah, some news coming out of this one. Andrew Wiggins out, Chris Paul out, Gary Payton II out. Norman Powell game time decision here. Hey, I'm not overcomplicating this one. Everybody knows I love fading the Los Angeles Clippers. And on the back end of a back-to-back, I think it's the perfect spot to do so. Left Sacramento. I mean, they're in Oakland, so it's not like they really went anywhere. But still, this is a team that I think is tremendously overvalued, and I think this is a nice bounce-back spot for Golden State off that terrible loss in their last one. They looked good for 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, the Kings wanted it more, came back and got them boys. I think they bounced back tonight and beat up on the Clippers here. Like my guy Ruffalo says, man, too many chefs in the kitchen. I still think that's the case for the Los Angeles Clippers. I think Steph Curry gives them all they can handle tonight. I see a 30-point win. Not a 30-point win, but a 30-point game from Steph Curry. And I see the Warriors winning this game at home.
All right, we got Jay here on the Warriors here, laying the 2.5 here against the Clippers. Should be Clippers there. Interesting matchup here with these teams. The Warriors are playing relatively fast now. We've seen a lot of points scored here from them, as well as the Clippers. Where did this come from? Is this team actually turning a corner?
I don't think so. I mean, they have a ton of talent. They really do, but I can't buy into it. This is a team who has lost 2 of their last 3 and really didn't look good in those. The Pelicans beat them up, and then to lose in the fashion that they did to the Nuggets at home, no Jokic, to let Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan and company come in there and do you like that? That wasn't a good sight to see. The Kings, they were on the back end of a back-to-back yesterday, so you got to kind of have that in your back pocket. I think the Warriors are rested, and I think they get the Clippers today. It
does seem like a relatively short line here. Now we're seeing it even get shorter now as a 1.5 in this spot. Something looks a little funny to me about this line. Why it's so short? I know. Wiggins is out, and we know the situation with the Clippers. Powell is someone who in the past would give him a lot of points off the bench. He may not play in this game. Powell was someone who was giving him 20 plus last year right off the bench until they screwed things up.
I think the line's probably right where it should be, because the Warriors, it's not like they've been anything to write home about either. They've actually been pretty bad at home against the number. So the line's right where it should be. I just think this is a bounce-back spot for Golden State.
All right, you're looking for the bounce-back here from the Golden State Warriors here. Now the 1.5 is the news. We saw the news on Wiggins come in. We know Wiggins, no Paul, no Payton in the lineup. Paul is Chris Paul there for Golden State out. Norman Powell out for the Clippers. Doubtful for the Clippers. Boston and Plumlee have been on the injury report all season, pretty much. Plumlee made I don't know. They brought him over last year. It wasn't much of an impact. They got on a trade.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. We know who's in action tonight, right? It's your Cowboys. You a little nervous when you see that big line up there?
Not at all. Hey, never in NFL history has a team gone this deep into the season winning as dominantly as Dallas is at home. They've won every game this season at home by double digits. And I know on paper and at first glance, you would not think of the Seattle Seahawks as a bad team, but they are. I know people wouldn't think that, but they are. There's a reason why they were 6-3. And they were an underdog on the road to the 3-6 Los Angeles Rams. There was a reason that happened, and they lost that game. There's a reason. There was a reason that last week they were 7-point home dogs to the San Francisco 49ers. There was a reason. It's because they are a bad team, and the public perception is not that. Seattle is much closer to the Commanders, to the Giants, to the Patriots, to the Jets than they are to the Eagles, to the Cowboys, to the Niners. It's levels in the NFC. Those top 3, I think are head and shoulders better than even the Lions, who I would say are probably that next tier, and then it's Seattle than everybody else. Seattle's not that good to me. I think they're running into a buzzsaw here. Offensively, I think this may be one of Geno Smith's worst games. I think the Cowboys defense absolutely gets after them. You got to remember, the Cowboys have now won, 14 straight home games? This team is playing really well right now. Like Millz said, Dak is playing at an MVP level. I'm not sure if many people really understand that. Second in the league in touchdowns, second in the league in completion percentage. And had he played most of the games all the way through, there's been 3 or 4 games where he hasn't played the fourth quarter because of how big the scores have been. The Dallas Cowboys, I want you guys to know, the last 3 seasons, they're the second most profitable team in the NFL. They're great against the number this season. They beat up on bad teams, and when they get a 6 to 7 point lead in the game, that's when it starts to snowball and it gets ugly. I think it gets ugly here tonight. Here in Dallas.
Yeah, Alex right there with the Dallas Cowboys side right there. Interesting to see. Yeah, it is. With the Seahawks, they're giving up 29 points, 28 points a game in November. They had a really good October, but then again, I think Carolina was in that mix. And this is one of those years where half the teams have a decent quarterback, the other half have bad quarterbacks. And I think you got to kind of look at. I think now in NFL handicapping, you got to start looking back at who not only a record, but who did you beat and who was under center when you beat them or lost to them.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Because this is probably one of the worst years for quarterbacks that I could think of in recent memory. Like, it's been bad this season with a lot of guys that have taken snaps.
I was a little worried when we started seeing guys like Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, and there was a few others that started retiring from the league, right? I was worried about who's going to replace these guys. We haven't seen – there's some hope there with Stroud. Mahomes is someone who stepped up, but we're just not – there are some guys that are hanging around the league that really it was just not a good representation right now under center of the league.
It's not at all. Guys like your Garoppolos, your Derek Carrs, your Smiths,
Ritter.
These guys are okay.
Ritter.
The thing here is like the mid-tier quarterbacks, the older guys that are supposed to be like okay, solid, they're not.
Russell Wilson.
They're not good.
Where do you put Russell Wilson?
Yeah, they're not really good. And then the young guys are really kind of struggling. There's a few playing well, like you said, C.J. Stroud's playing well, but really outside of him, Anthony Richardson got hurt. Zach Wilson got benched. Mac Jones, he's one of the worst in the NFL. Jordan Love, he's starting to see some flashes there. Bryce Young, his team around him is just terrible. It's Will Levis. Yeah. Will Levis leaves some things to be desired. Josh Dobbs. Whew, it's bad out there. Tommy DeVito, Sam Howell. Oof.
We just going through all the.
It's bad. It's bad when we're looking at Jared Goff like one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the NFL. That's when
and you mentioned with Seattle being what people perceive as a winning team. Now, if Seattle played some teams with good frontline quarterbacks, not facing the Carolina quarterbacks, some of the weaker teams on their schedule, it may be a different look for this team.
It very well may be. We all watched Thanksgiving Day them get smashed by the Niners at home. That was very concerning. And out on the road, going up against, like I said, the other top. There's 3 teams in that top tier for me in the NFC. Going up against another one of those on the road this time, I think it gets ugly as well.
Yep, and we know what's coming up for Dallas soon, right? They got
Yes, sir. We got them Eagle boys up next. They're going through a gauntlet themselves. I'm kind of pulling. I'm a Niners fan this weekend. Need the Niners to go ahead and bust them boys up, and then they get busted up by us next week as well.
No, they soften them up, right? They seem they'll be softening up each other. That might be the case there. And you also could throw in. You can also throw in Matthew Stafford in that mix too, and the Arizona quarterbacks.
Yep. I like Kyler, but you can throw him in the mix too.
All before Kyler, right? Because there's a lot of games without him playing.
Boone, Dobbs, all of them.
Yeah, there was a lot of it.
We forgot about Aiden O'Connell, Tony Brown's guy over there.
The Raiders. They're very sharp. A lot of youth at quarterback. We're not seeing those 35-year-old guys anymore. They're not. They're shipping them out and going trying again. There's so much emphasis on the quarterback. They're drafting these guys, throwing them in there under the fire right away. They're not. There's no time. There's no time for development when coaches are on. When coaches looking to save their jobs, they can't. They got to throw these guys in the mix.
You go from trying to develop Zach Wilson to starting Tim Boyle. You know, that's what we're looking at now.
And then having to bring in, look at the Cleveland situation now. Now that we bring it up, right? Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield. You know, there's,
ooh, it's some bad quarterback players.
you know, I mean, we just, you know, there's just it's in Cleveland. We're seeing Joe Flacco of DTR, another one, DTR, right? If he can't play, Flacco comes off the, I don't know where he was, off the couch or wherever he was to play.
Yeah,
PJ Walker.
You know, Carson Wentz is even back on the roster. He's with the Rams.
Yeah.
So, ooh, it's desperate.
My goodness, man. What does it say? Our the USC guy, Barkley, can't even make a team. I mean, you know, I think they wanted Darnold. Wouldn't be surprised 49ers holding on to Darnold. He might be worth a second-round pick. You know, that's how desperate these teams are. You know?
With how bad the quarterback play this year, he might be.
You know, they might be worth making a gamble here. You know, maybe.
Surprised the Jets didn't make that phone call.
Yeah, I was wondering about these backups. Someone's going to just overspend and then, you know, get and of course the owner will probably step in there, but we'll see how that rolls. But anyway, Jay here on the Warriors here, 1.5 against the Clippers tonight. This one is on NBA TV. Remember, TNT doesn't want to do business against the NFL, so NBA TV on Thursdays until NFL is over tonight. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Spin for tonight's action. Of course, we do have lots on the board tonight here from the NBA, college basketball on board as well. Jay, look at the numbers from Jay. He's been on absolute fire. 2,749 units of profit last 3 days, all talking over Pick Dodge Premium. What do you have going over at the site?
Yes, sir. It's NBA night for me. I have 4 plays total, and I got 3 in a money-making 3-pack. And, of course, I have my NBA play of the day. 14, 5, and 2 last 21 on that play. Trying to keep it rolling. You guys can scoop that up Pick Dogs Premium, or you can hop on something long-term. Get every single play that I release for the duration of the package that you get, every single sport. Or, best thing to do, in my opinion, pair me up 2 for 1 with one of the other great guys here at Pick Dogs. I'm running pretty hot right now, but somebody else, they might be ready to get hot. So pair me up with who you think that is. Pair me up with somebody else that's on the leaderboard. Pair me up with Tony Brown, putting up insane units in the NFL. Pair me up with, who else was on the show today? My guy Money Man Millz. Pair me up with Tony T. Pair me up with whoever you want to pair me up with. Big Al McMordie. And let's make some money, man. Let's make some money rolling into this money-making weekend. And let's just keep the momentum rolling forward.
That's right, guys. Got it with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dodge. You see the great results here over the last 30 days. It's a good time to get on board with Jay with the long-term pass. Of course, remember that 1-month pass. Get you all with Jay's place for 30 days. All this NFL. We get right into college football bowl season there. NBA as well as college hoops. So let's dabble into some of the NHL as well. Great time. But Jay, also you have your all-access pass. I know you keep Costy up at nights because the way you've been running.
Yes, I have been keeping Costy a busy man, but it's paying dividends right now, man. Guys, we're up 70 units last 60 days or something like that. And it hasn't even been active 60 days. I just know that's the subset. So it's been something crazy. The reason the All Access Club is so good is because you're getting the plays rated. You see the regular units here at Pick Dogs. Now imagine being able to rate the plays with higher units, being able to put higher units down is essentially how this works. I'm letting you guys know just how much I like each and one of these games, and you're able to make a lot of money with the rating system. So if you want to join my All Access Club, it's for my bigger bettors out there. Join the All Access Club and let's continue to make some money.
That's right, guys. Get on board with that All Access Club. Make money there with Jay Briggs. All right, Jay, it's always great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again on tomorrow. But, of course, we always catch up in the morning shows. A lot of your All Access, also your rundowns as well on the channel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jam session drops every morning as I go through the entire NBA card. I'm on the morning show with Mitch and Ruffalo and host the weekend shows as well. So you guys can catch me there. And, of course, I'm here with Tony T usually 3 to 4 days a week. So you can catch me here with my guy Tony T. Ton of content here, man. Just trying to keep the momentum rolling forward.
That's right. When we move forward, make sure you just like, subscribe, send notifications. So when Jay's on the air, the way he's running, you want to get those plays right away. All right, Jay, have a great night. We'll catch up again tomorrow.
Tony T, my main man. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Jay Briggs here on the drive through. All right, let's continue on. Guys, if you ever miss a pick, we always recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. We're getting a lot of injury information coming in here as we get to the end of the show here. We can now confirm here that Levine is out for Chicago. Levine is out. We're still showing questionable status here on DeRozan, Milwaukee, and Chicago tonight. We've seen that Milwaukee move up to a 9-point favorite. And of course, we can now confirm Edwards out for Minnesota in their game against the Utah Jazz. No Clarkson, no Dunn, no Markkanen for Utah. No Clark, no Edwards, no McDaniels, McLaughlin out for Minnesota. They're out here. We can now let's see here. Jalen Johnson out for Atlanta. Of course, the Laker game. We're getting some confirmations here. No Hachimura, Hayes, we knew about Vanderbilt, and Vincent out. LeBron James still showing up here as questionable for this one. Reddish is also showing questionable. Let's see what the latest is on LeBron. He's got that calf issue. He continues to deal with that nagging calf issue. He's only missed one game, so keep an eye on the warm-ups. The warm-ups should be in about half an hour for an 8 Eastern game. So still questionable status here on LeBron James. OKC, a 6-point favorite in this game. We gave you the updates here on the Warriors game earlier, so there you go. With the injury news that has been coming down here just the last minutes, I've been seeing my screen light up a lot of red up here with circles on some of these players. I'm seeing a circle. We know Connaughton Crowder out here for Milwaukee, but we've got a lot of still question marks here with some of these players. Let me see if there's anything else that's coming up late here. We've got questionable status here on Norman Powell. Powell is the one question mark. He can give you points off the bench. Let me take a look at my odds screen here. Still. Yep, nothing's changed. I have two live sources for odds here, so just wanted to make, or for injury, so just wanted to make sure we got that underway. All right, here we go. And my pick here tonight on the show. We'll go to college hoops tonight. Late night action. Pac-12 Network has this one between UCLA and UC Riverside. I want to take the experience here with the UC Riverside Islanders. We can find 19s. I wonder if you can still find 19. Let's see where we're at on this line here. UCLA, Cal, Riverside, 19 there, and some I'm still seeing 19s and 18s and a half. There's a lot of variance on the numbers. I didn't even see the 17 and a half at some books as well, but there's most of them 18 and a half right now. There's a few 19s in this one. 18 and a half is pretty much I would say the more widely available number right now. I still like it here with the UC Riverside Highlanders against this UCLA team that's kind of going through a bit of a change, right? This is a team that brought back one starter from a team that was eliminated in the Sweet 16. Their top 5 starters have exited. We've seen a lot of players from overseas come in. There isn't a whole lot of minutes continuity. We'll see how that works in. UC Riverside returned 2 starters from a team that won 22 games last year, but 9 from their roster are back for this Riverside team. They go pretty deep in their bench. They're defending over their past 5 games, holding teams at 44% shooting, but the Bruins, over their past 5 games, just 46% shooting. And this is the non-conference. And the Bruins here, from 3-point distance this year, just 28%. So struggling there. The Highlanders are a high-volume 3-point shooting team. Let's take UC Riverside plus the 18.5. Grade me on the 18.5. That's the more widely available number right now that I can see. I see just 119 right now left in the marketplace. So we'll go there with the UC Riverside Highlanders at that number. All right. That all over our pick dogs. I got a 3-pack right now from the mixed 3-pack. NBA as well as my NFL together in a 3-pack, so get on board with that. You can also get my long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period you select. When you go to my handicapper page, you make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. We also have the multi-capper promotion, even greater value there. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. Let's get to the recap for tonight's show. All right, we recap it here with Big Al McMordie. Michigan, Iowa, under 35. Tony Brown likes the Pacers Heat over 238. We had Millz on the Hawks Spurs over 248.5. Jay on the Warriors here, laying the 2.5 against the Clippers. I'll be on UC Riverside plus the points. 18.5 you can grade me on right now. That's more of the widely available number right now against the UCLA Bruins there tonight. Which one do I like the most here between these games? That's a good question. I'm going to go outside there with Big Al with that under, because this situation where Michigan is not looking for style points, they don't need to run up the score. They win. They're undefeated. They're in there. So I'll go there with Iowa. I think Ron Crawford made a good point. Defense gives up less than the line. Auto play Iowa. That was his play there. But I don't like the under there, keeping it low scoring. Michigan, just got to win. You can win and you're in the playoff. No reason to get that late touchdown. You can just knee it, and we'll be fine there. So Iowa will be struggling to get points, no doubt. All right, that's going to do it here for the drive-thru. I'd like to thank everybody here in the chat room joining us here on the show. Of course, peek out and see what any picks coming in from the chat. Ooh, we got a lot of people in the chat room today. That's a real small live chat. I thought I had a bigger screen than that. But anyway, you can see, appreciate everybody in the live chat here producing their content for us here on there and their picks. Of course, we always like to get the picks from the chat room. Let me see if I got a bigger screen here so we can make it bigger here. Nope, maybe do. Where do I have this at? Let me double check it here. So I can read some of your picks on the screen here. Here we go. We got a big screen here. All right. Shout out to everybody here. Let's see who we got. Justin Eagles in the chat room. We got Dote likes the Bulls. Levine is out. Thank you, Dote, for that. What's the line for? Okay, we're not going to get into politics here, Mr. Doofy. I think that just opened up a can of worms. He likes Big Al's play as well. And Caesar's liking Seattle money line tonight, huh? Or is he throwing that question out there? We'll see. But anyway, thanks everyone for their contributions today in the show. All right, that's going to do it here for the drive-thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers from Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. They'll have their plays for us here in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show, 10:30 a.m. each time during the week. We got Mitch, we got Chris, and we got Jay there. Also, we got Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, his betting tools show. Also, roundtable discussions with the professionals as well. Also, Jay's jam session, NFL, NBA. We got Chris with his wraparound from the NHL for you. Raj Zawacki with his NHL rundown video series. Mills with his props video as well as UFC rundown. Of course, we've got, can't forget Big Al McMordie with his all access. You want to get us signed up for that. And of course, Ron Romanelli with his college football, college basketball rundown videos. We've got Nick Mencken first half in the NBA up here as well. We got parlay videos here from Brad Francis. And many more. And Costi with his video of the day as well, pick of the day from Sharp Trading Plays of the Day. So check it out here at Pick Dogs. That's going to do it for the show. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, including Blake, including Ron Crawford, Randy C. in there as well, making sure everyone knows that the 49ers did smash the Cowboys too. Remember that. That's something, an angle there. When the Cowboys faced these winning teams, they had their struggles. All right, that's going to do it here on the show. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Going to wave goodbye.